Alright, so afternoon to Andy. As per your comment in the group, I'm going to do a live market scan. So the point of this scan is, because I don't think you're alone, I think that the difficulty in seeing trading opportunities can be tricky. Right, it eventually gets easier, so it's just time in the market, but also it helps, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I will run through the markets. I'm going to try and do this quickly as possible. I've set up on my chart, so I've got a 2-hour time frame, a 4-hour, a daily and a weekly. Right, so the daily and weekly are really for confirmation, but we're going to be looking for trades on the 2-hour, the 4-hour, and the daily. 8 hours acceptable as well, but for my purposes, this is where I'm going to be looking for stuff. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's going to give you enough time to slow things down. If for any trader out there, when they can't find what they're looking for, they need to slow things down. Go to the 4-hour, just for a while. Just go back, take a step back, and start looking at higher time frames. That'll usually help allow us to start to see the trees, or concept the trees for the forest. Allows us to eventually see what we need to see. Starting off here on Wall Street. Okay, so we've got a retracement happening at the moment. We have a round number. So the market kind of ran up and eventually kind of connected with 29,000, which it's been meaning to do. I can see the 4-hour coming back down into potential resistance, which is also the high of last week. So the daily is doing a retracement. Okay, so the daily is also doing a retracement. And therefore, what could be setting up here is potentially... let's just set this up this way. It could potentially just be a normal kind of breather on the 4-hour or a daily retracement. Do I think that it's more than that? Let's just have a look here. So if I go through, the indicator looks fine. Momentum indicator looks fine, so it's not really hinting at any divergence. So for now, although it looks scary and it's a big drop, I think it's likely to slow down. This could turn into a 4-hour or 8-hour thing. I don't think it's going to be a daily. I think we're going to see price attempt to continue onwards. I could be wrong, but that's what it kind of looks like to me now. Looking at S&P 500, big drop down back into the highs. To me, this is almost certainly a daily retracement. What that means is I'm not looking for anything now. Tech produced a lower trend on the 2-hour. It's a lower high on the 4-hour. It's a daily retracement. Absolutely. I am noting, though, the potential weekly bearish candle. So that means we could be up for a deeper retracement, which we are due anyway. The question is, were we going to get it this week, or are we going to get it, are we going to get it next week? So we could be setting up for that. And so I would really keep an eye on where this is going. There isn't anything to trade right now. There just isn't. Daily is going to come down here by tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, depending on how well we recover. If we recover on the daily and we get a nice bullish candle, then that'll change the weekly candle. But I would right now, there isn't anything that I think is really going to happen this week, which is going to, so then what we'll do is see where we are by Friday, which means we'll know what the weekly candle looks like, then we'll know what next week's going to be like. Russell 2000 struggling to get through resistance, 1600, just can't get past that. That's a weekly, still can't get past that. It's a lower high, but I'd be interested to see how bearish that divergence is. I'm going to update the indicators and I'll do it in the next video. FTSE 100 struggling. Definitely look at that beautiful Christmas bearish candle set up on resistance 6,000. That could be a swing high. So actually, I'm inclined, downtrend on the weekly, I'm inclined to look for shorting opportunities on the FTSE, because that's beautiful. Everything about this screams crisp levels and it's bearish. So I like the look of that. So shorting on those. Here we go, struggling to get through levels. So there's a very common signal here. Stocks struggling to get through, weekly starting to look bearish. And we know that the US daily is going to retrace now, which means that the bearish things are going to finish even more bearishly if that's the case. I'll take notes on this one. So the DAX, does that manage to hold above 13.2? Does it fall below that, or does it manage to recover and close above that by Friday? Because that will create a bullish candle on support at 13.2, which could be a bullish recovery next week. So basically, there's very little to do on these between now and Monday. And we need to see if they recover tomorrow, setting up for another push higher next week, or if they set up bearishly, if they finish bearishly, which could indicate further moves to the downside. Hong Kong looks weak. So what am I saying? Well, I think that the bearish setups are looking, the weaker ones are looking good for shorts. Cool. Nikkei looks bearish. ASICS looks bearish. Look at that, can't get past that weekly level of resistance. producing a swing high now, a lower high. So there are hints at a bigger move to the downside next week, which depending on how we close, I'll put that in my Sunday market analysis video. Dollar basket still retracing, up to 93 level. It's now back into the moving averages. If it closes as a rejection candle, that could just be a continuation. So not seeing anything there. Euro dollar. So euro dollar for me, not offering anything. It might be setting up for a weekly retracement. This has been something that's been going on for 4 or 5 weeks. And so the daily could start to break below these lows. So again, what we could see next week is starting to see the dollar strengthen and starting to see the indices weaken. Okay. Sterling forming a rejection weekly candle at that same level. That could be interesting. Downtrend is currently retracing. So basically, again, if I get a bullish setup tomorrow, then I think the best thing to do is to wait for the weekend, because we've got tomorrow happening here. But again, things like the FTSE, I could start potentially shorting now. So what does that mean? I'd go down to the 15-minute time frame and start to look for pullbacks, or 5 minutes and start shorting that. That's the one, because it's the weakest, and I think that's probably what it's going to do between today and tomorrow. Right, so fine. Dollar yen, no. There could be some setups to go short here. There could be some other stuff. Dollar Swissy, dollar CAD, we'll see. Interesting to me that dollar CAD is pulling a bullish candle potential to finish on the weekly. It's had a long run down. A move up next week could be good. So we could see some changes in daily trend next week. Euro GBP, excuse me. You've seen my live trade on that, so you should be up to date on that one. Euro Aussie, look at that base forming. Forming off support on the weekly. I think that's going to attempt climb again. Euro Kiwi, see, that's beautiful on that 2-hour time frame, and the 4-hour really good. So bearish candle on Euro Kiwi on the 4 hours would be worthwhile looking at. Euro Yen, that weekly is starting to look very bearish, wanting to head down. So next week could offer, and later on could be offering shorts on that. So Euro Kiwi, Euro Yen short. Euro Swissy for the same reason. I don't think they like it, but certainly there. And Euro CAD starting to look bearish. So Europe is looking weak. Pound Aussie, I'm still looking strong on that. I'm still keen on that being quite strong and heading up. It's just been sideways and choppy, but it looks like it's really holding above support. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I think we'll still see that climb. Pound Kiwi looks like it wants to head lower. But not as appealing. So the Euro charts, Euro Yen, Euro Swissy, Euro CAD, Euro Yen and Euro Swissy look best, I think, for 4-hour trades to the downside. Pound Swissy, I'm going to leave for now. I'll check it again tomorrow. Nothing on Pound CAD. Aussie Kiwi could be setting up on a 2-hour to go short. Not bad. It's in a level of potential resistance, potential support. I grant you that. That 2-hour looks good. So maybe a bit overextended, but that's a possibility. A lower risk, lower account risk trade, so 0.5% to go short on that, for example. Yeah, okay, Aussie Yen looking quite bearish now. Looks like that wants to head lower. So Aussie Yen short, which is Euro Yen short, Aussie Yen short, Aussie Swissy short, looking really good. Look at those weekly rejections over here. Looking very nice. Weekly rejections wanting to head lower. So again, could be good. Aussie pairs are starting to look, excuse me, overbought. So there could be a lot of Aussie dollar opportunities, lower time frames between today and end of day tomorrow. Okay, so I should be at my desk tomorrow morning. If that's the case, I'll get on it before, so between 7 a.m. and let's call it 7:30 a.m. and 10. We'll look for Aussie shorts as well. Kiwi, Swissy, I think they're going to start heading lower potentially. I'll keep an eye here. There's a level of resistance that could be support on the 4-hour and carry on. But I have a feeling the Swissies are all starting to turn and head lower. Swissy Yen doesn't look good at all. Stay away from that one. CAD Yen now starting to look bearish. Now that looks bearish. CAD Swissy looking bearish. These are all the Swissy pairs and Yen pairs are starting to go short. Looks a bit that gold. All over the place. I'd stay away from that one. I really would for now. Not enough clarity on that one. Silver is gonna, it looks to me, they look like they really need to go short, but they also have a lot of buyers. So basically they should go short, but they also keep staying where they are and then setting up to go long and then failing and then dropping. So basically there's no one in control of it. Copper, potentially, looking to head lower based off that weekly and the rejection of 30,000 level. Crude. I think crude oil is really going to have some opportunities in the near future, especially if it breaks below that $40 mark. So oils could be offering really good shorting opportunities between today and end of day tomorrow, and then possibly more next week. But so in other words, in terms of intraday opportunities, oils, Swissies and Yens could be off, and Aussie pairs could be looking for shorts today and tomorrow, but probably better to just go on it tomorrow. Cryptos, I think, are going to maybe start going short. If something's happening now, if gold is going to start breaking lower, the dollar is going to change, the markets are going to tank a little, we could see oil, commodities, cryptos, gold, all of them starting to trend low, which is what happened in March, February and March, when we had that big tank. All the commodities dropped, all the stocks dropped. Okay, so very quickly, anything else of note on these? These are individual stocks, just having a look at some of these ones here. Carbon emissions, Chicago wheat, daily retracement could be that. Let's just see. So I'm just looking at the daily. I'm just running through and looking at the daily. I'm looking for any retracements that could end up being swing trades. Anything else, any strong trends? That looks bearish. There we go, heating oil. So what do you know? Heating oil's leading. I actually saw yesterday, I saw both heating oil and natural gas like tanking. So that was a clue. Zinc looks like that might end up going short. So I think oils are going to be money makers in the next few days. Live cattle, no. What's this? London cocoa topping out perhaps. London gas oil, bearish, man. That's it. I think oils are going down now. London sugar, bearish. Cotton, so the commodities I think are going to offer some good opportunities. Look at this, sugar looking good on that 2 hour. They look good, man. There's some good stuff. Like this is terrible. So natural gas, no. So earlier I said natural gas, I meant London gas, oil and heating oil. Natural gas, no. Natural gas is doing its own thing. New York cocoa, about to do a retracement to come back down. I'm seeing a lot of potential opportunities just on this list as well. Like oats looks like it wants to climb, and that this is all gappy stuff. Soybean. So what's going on with soybeans? Overextended on the weekly. Daily is doing a retracement, so there could be swing trades. Look at this beautiful swing trading pattern. That would be on my watch list right there, 3,200 for swing trades next week. Soybeans also topping out, so there's going to be some good stuff there. Cryptos, and if you know how to do some of these, if there's divergence on these, divergence here, there could be some short intraday opportunities down to 3,200 there. It's very small on the 5-minute, 15-minute time frames. Cryptos I've spoken on already. This is EOS and Neo, Stellar, Spotify, Berkshire Hathaway Lumber. That's it. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Looking at it, some trusts. Some of these are topping out. They're well overextended on the weekly. They're coming down on the daily. There's stuff happening. Some of it we have to wait for because it's going to retrace. Other things are looking good to go short on already in those various markets. I hope you found this useful. Give me some feedback, and then we'll update it tomorrow. Cool. Thank you.